Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Tokyo Dark, where last we left off we managed to convince Mai to come with us to speak to her brother at the dojo to get more information about what's going on with the Kamara family. Insanity's staying relatively not bad. Professionalism is a bit meh. Investigation is like, woo, we're meticulous. Neuroses is pretty negative though. I don't know how to increase that. We're relaxed at the moment apparently. Right, anyway. So we need to head back to the dojo. Mai, what are you doing here? Did she make you come? It's not like that, Takashi. It was my idea. I asked her to come talk with you, but you sent her away. This woman almost got you killed. You expect me to cooperate with her? Surely if you need to talk to me, you can come yourself. My sister doesn't need to be involved. No. If I come alone, you'd just evade all my questions like you always do. Besides, there's something I need you to see. See what? What are you talking about? Ah! Where did you get that? Put it away! So, you do know what it is. I knew you were hiding something from me. That's not true. I wasn't hiding it. It's not something you ever needed to know about. Besides, why is she carrying it in the first place? Wait, don't change the subject. This isn't about Ito. Mai, I understand you're upset with me, but we should talk about this another time. Furthermore, that mask has nothing to do with you. You're wrong. Back in April, when Mai was held at knife point by another girl, it was this mask she was after. A mask your family is connected to. Looking for it? It's got his face for Detective Ito. I suppose I've been a fool to think I could keep the truth of our family's past away from you. The past? Does this have to do with Mum and Dad? Yes, and so much more. I first saw that mask when I was a child before you were born. The truth is, it belonged to a cult called the Kemenkai, of which our parents were members. A cult? You're kidding. How'd your parents get mixed up in that? I know how it sounds. I find it hard to believe myself. They were a group led by a guru named Tokimasa, who promised a simpler life away from the hypocrisy and falseness of city life. Our parents both had master's degrees and my mother was on her way to earning her PhD. They chose to give up their lives and their careers to follow some mystic and live on a compound instead. The Kemenkai were one of many such groups back then. I was a child, and I didn't understand, but thinking about how our parents were deceived and what they put me and Mai through, it's unforgivable. The mask was on the compound, but for what purpose or what they believed it could do, I don't know. Do you think there are any other members of the Kemenkai left who'd know? No, you see, there are no surviving members. They died, all of them, including our parents. I'm sorry, I don't remember much about it. One night, Grandma came into the room where we were sleeping, saying we had to go. The compound was in the woods, so it was dark and I could barely see, but she kept charging forward with Mai in her arms and dragging me behind. When we were back in Tokyo several days later, Grandma told me that our parents were dead. She didn't seem sad. It was as if she was expecting it. The government censored much of what happened, so I was never able to learn how they died. Me and Grandma didn't speak of it, ignoring it as if my childhood and everything that happened in these woods was all a bad dream. If it weren't for her, we'd probably be dead with our parents, but ignoring it couldn't erase the anger I felt towards them. I wonder if they even cared what might happen to us. As a high schooler, I spent more time trying to find out about the Kamenkai than I did studying. I thought that if I could understand why my parents so willingly gave up their lives and abandoned us, I'd stop feeling so betrayed. But I was wrong. Nothing I found gave me any peace. Mum and Dad died as part of some cult? I don't believe it. It's true. I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner. I guess that in hiding it from you, I was able to hide away my feelings as well. I think for Grandma it was too painful to talk about. I believe she took possession of the shrine in order to live a simpler life. We had to keep it secret. There's no way we could live a normal life with the stigma of the Kamenkai attached to us. I suppose keeping that secret hurt us both dearly. For me, pursuing Kendo gave me some measure of control over my life again. But Grandma, who made a choice to leave her only daughter behind, she always seemed to carry the guilt of it with her. She started going out at night babbling about how she was looking for Mum. When she'd come home, she would have a rotten stink on her clothes. I was too scared to confront her, so I tipped off the police. They found her wandering in the sewers holding nothing but the mask. The same one from the cult compound all those years before, and the one you hold now. I was shocked when they gave it to me. I hadn't seen it for so long, and all the unpleasant memories from my past came flooding back. That was when I decided to leave Kamakura. It was the only way I could move on with my life. That doesn't account for how the mask ended up with your grandmother in the first place. I don't know how she got it. It seemingly appeared out of thin air. Or maybe someone gave it to her. She never said. I left the mask with her. It always made me uneasy. It had a strange aura about it. Wait, Grandma was looking for Mum? In the sewers? I don't remember any of this. You were in the dorms at your school at the time. Grandma's strange behaviour was part of why I insisted on you going to those private schools away from Kamakura. I couldn't drag you into the madness of our past. We parted ways without ever speaking of it, and she was much better by the time we returned to Kamakura. Detective, what exactly is it that you're looking for? Surely our family's history isn't of use to you. I'm assuming you've heard of what happened to my partner. This mask was there again when he died. It's more than an ornament. I need to know where it came from. If that's true, then I want to help. Your partner, he seemed like a nice person. No, Mai. You've helped me plenty, but I have to do this on my own. Ito was right. I apologise for not telling you this sooner, but you can't be involved in something so dangerous. I already thought I'd lost you that day at the shrine. I wouldn't forgive myself if something happened to you now. Alright. Thank you for finally telling me the truth, Takashi. I'll head back for now. I hope you remember that I'm your sister. I may not remember the same things you do, but we're still family. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for your help, Mai. You're right, Mai. I'll come visit soon. It looks like she's gone. Mai's not here, there's no need to be coy. No doubt taking possession of that mask has taken its toll on you. Even in the brief time I was in contact with it, I felt an immense darkness behind it. I had such strange dreams and saw things I never would have dreamed up on my own. There was always an unusual air about it that I couldn't stand to be around. Maybe lying to Mai again makes me a hypocrite. All I know is I don't want her getting hurt. But like you said, I don't believe that mask is simply wood and paint, though I doubt anyone else would believe us. No one ever did, except for one man. On this street, there's an old tea shop. Perhaps you saw it on the way in? An old historian named Yasuhisa is there occasionally. He was the only one who ever acknowledged what I said about the mask as truth. If you're looking for information on the mask, he may be the person to ask. I never pursued the topic with him, but I speak with him occasionally on other topics. His mind is a vault of valuable information. Hopefully I can shed some light on what it really is. I hope so. But please, Detective, be careful. Yeah, we handled that pretty well. So, we're off to have some tea! Do I buy some more octopus balls? I can't remember what that did for me, actually. No, I best not. Look. Inside is the interior of a traditional tea shop. But it doesn't look like anyone's been there recently. Oh boy. Enter the tea shop. Welcome, come in, do sit down. No need to be so formal and stand there like a statue. How can I help you? Are you Yasusa? Takashi told me to come speak with you. Oh, and how is Mr. Koana? Still prickly as ever, I suppose? I have always found him to be wise beyond his years, though perhaps not by choice. I digress. My apologies. It's the quirks that come with old age, you know. What does Mr. Koana think I can help you with? I'm looking into a few things related to the Kamenkai, the group his family got mixed up in. Ah, more difficult answer than you might expect. You see, there are two groups that share that name. The first, as you know, is the religious group formed by the guru, Tokimasa. The second is an ancient order over 1,000 years old. What's that you're holding? I was told it was related to the Kamenkai, the newer one, and that you could tell me about it? Ah, that explains many things, child. The far-off look in your eyes, for one. I imagine you have many, many questions. Masks are interesting, are they not? They are meant to be a disguise, and yet are a mask. A mask cannot lie or contort itself to hide the truth. In that sense, it is the mask that is more truthful than the human faces we hide underneath them. I wonder how you came to be in possession of an object with such a dark history. I think I might be related to a missing person, but I don't know anything about it beyond that. Ah, but that itself is the essence of history. Layers upon layers of personal connections that are continuously peeled back to their root. Relics like the one you hold often take unusual routes to where they end up. Relic? If that's from Kamenkai cult from the 90s, then I'd hardly call it a relic. Misguided and deceptive as he was, Tokimasa was no fool. In order to gain new followers, he needed to give his cult historical legitimacy. He collected obscure objects and gave them new meanings that he could control in order to manipulate his followers. The mask was what he chose, along with the name of the group that created it. Interesting, isn't it? Yeah, I guess so. Only, I guess I was hoping you could tell me some other things about it. For instance? Like, why? Now that I'm about to say it out loud, it sounds silly. I'm sorry I bothered you. Don't be silly. You wonder, for example, why holding the mask seems to take you to another place. Or perhaps why you can see visions that don't seem real, why you feel a strong will exert itself upon you. Oh yes, I know all about those things too. How could you know about that? When Tokimasa was in possession of it, he believed it showed him a path to the realm of the gods. He wrote extensively on the subject. Though unlike most, I don't discount such phenomena as the ravings of a madman when the phenomena repeats itself. Do you too look into the inky blackness and see familiar shapes in the shadows? Not shadows. I see and hear people who are supposed to be dead. I find things I couldn't possibly have found otherwise. Most interesting. Tell me, detective. Apologies, do you mind if I call you that? I don't remember telling you I was a detective. Nah, my mistake. You must forgive me. A slip of the tongue. I believe it was the way you carried yourself. Determined investigators such as yourself have such a sense of purpose in their mannerisms, you see. And do seem rather determined to get to the bottom of whatever you're chasing. Tell me, does me telling you your experiences are not an illusion provided by you? Or tell me, Does me telling you that your experiences are not an illusion provide you any level of comfort? I'm not sure, but I do feel something, maybe hope. It's like I finally got a foothold on solid ground. Ah, yes. Knowledge is a light in dark places, is it not? To think a relic of such import would end up with a detective. Do you mind if I ask you something? Which do you believe? Are our lives controlled by fate, pre-measured threads that determine our deeds, our wishes and our ends, the minute we come into existence? Or, conversely, is our thread subject to the chaos inherent in our universe instead? Does it change according to our deeds, and that which happens to us seemingly by accident? Do you believe it is fate or chance that decides which threads of life are cut short or which are followed? Chance or fate? I'm going to say chance. Yes, of course, maybe you feel your life has been somewhat out of control as of late. Control, huh? To be honest, I don't feel like I've had much of that since the mask came to me. You said that the mask was made by the old Kamenkai. Why? Confusing me can't be the purpose it was made for. Ah, yes, a more complicated answer than you might have wished for. Indeed, it should come as no surprise that the creation of such a mysterious object is equally enigmatic. Perhaps you could do me a favour. Don't worry, it is in relation to this very topic. An important book has gone missing from my shop. If you could retrieve it for me, I feel I could shine a great deal of light on the subject. What kind of book? A book of the missing variety. I'm sorry, I jest. It concerns the mask bearer. Mask bearer? Huh? That's me, right? Although you carry it, that does not make you its bearer. All will become clear when the book is returned to me. Sounds easy enough. Where can I start looking? Oh, you needn't go far. The man who has it is right outside this building. In fact, as I said, it's not much of an errand, but I, of course, cannot leave my shop. He's right outside? This won't take long. I'll be right back. And I've just noticed he's fuzzy. And I wonder if that's why he can't leave the shop, as he's not actually there. Creepy much? Really, the dude who sells the octopus balls is the man I need to speak to. Ask about tea shop. Ah, the old tea shop next door. Isn't that place closed down? Closed? That can't be right. What else do you know about it? Pure conjecture on this one, but it might be owned by the kendo instructor from the dojo down the street on account of him being the only one I ever see in there. You might not believe me, but I swear I saw him in there chatting away to himself. Possibly he's a little nuts. Then again, it might be some super awesome kendo meditation technique. Oh man, why didn't I think of that before? Next time I ought to ask him for some pointers instead of spying on him, eh? Word through the grapevine is that he's a regional champion or something, and has trained some of the best. Lots of cops train with him, so he must be good. Maybe he's not so crazy after all. Speaking of which, I have a bit of a crazy question for you. I know you said it was closed, but do you know anything about a book taken from there, maybe recently? I was led to believe you would. Oh geez. Go on. Like I said, the place has been empty for years, but you know, I spend a lot of time outside it, and half the time the doors are wide open. So one day, a few months back, I decided to take a look around. Nothing suspicious or nothing. I was just curious, is all. Curiosity killed the cat, right? Anyway, it was all dusty and old, and there was all sorts of weird stuff lying around. So I might have taken a little souvenir. I mean, it was super old or nothing, so I figured no one would miss it. Besides, it wasn't for me. It was for my kid brother. That guy can get deep in the dumps sometimes. So I try to be on standby for when that happens, you know. So I figured a little gift would cheer him up. And back then, he was going through some particular tough times. His bitch wife, pardon my language, miss, had left him and taken their kid daughter with her. He still doesn't talk about it, like he's in denial or something. Whoops, got off track again. I was heading to visit with him, the ill-gotten book, when I got this phone call saying he was in hospital. He OD'd on expensive sake and sleeping pills. Thank God that idiot decided to do it at the bar he owns with the door unlocked. A customer came in and called an ambulance. If it weren't for that, I'm not sure if he'd still be here. That's quite the story. Sounds to me like he wanted to be found. Yeah, I think so too. I think he was trying to ask for help in his own way. In any case, I took the book to him while he was in the hospital. Tried to show him that even he was at his lowest. There was someone out there trying to do something nice for him, you know? I think it helped for a minute anyhow. As soon as the doctors let him leave, he went right back to that toxic little bar. I hope he's okay. He's got issues, but he's my little brother and I worry about him. He's not been answering his phone call or my phone calls lately. Originally, my brother's bitch ex-wife, sorry again, had the brilliant idea to put his skill to work in our cheap part of town. Despite that, he's holding on to it with everything he's got. The place is slowly bankrupting him, but he won't let it go. All he has to do is sign some paper and move on, but he can't. Something about it has his claws sank deep into him. I've been trying to get him to join me in my business for years. He's a great chef. He would make a killing. And maybe it's not the same as owning a whole bar, but serving passers-by and getting some sunshine is good for the soul. Plus, food stands out doing really well abroad, I hear. Maybe much better than wasting away in Shinjuku at any rate. Shinjuku? Yeah, in a slimy little side street. Anyway, if that book is important to you, he's probably still got it at his place. You'll want the address. Wait, I knew you looked familiar. Your brother's Daiso, right? You know him. Small world. Was probably the smile on my face that threw you off. Tell him his brother Haruto says hi. While you're at it, tell him that takoyaki stands are still the future of cuisine, and to get his butt over here. Haha. I'll do that. Thanks for all your help. Oh, damn! So we gotta go to Shinjuku. Can we go to our apartment? No. Dang it. I want a pet kitty. We're gonna go to Shinjuku. Plot's thickening, slowly but surely. Pieces coming together if we can get that book for the crazy weird ghost man. Hi, Ayami. How can I help you today? Hey, Daiso. How are things? Oh, you know, same old, same old. Funny thing, I met your brother while I was in Asakusa today. Haruto? You met Haruto? What are the chances? Who knows? It was pretty random. Huh? Who'd have thought? So, is he still selling takoyaki at his stand? Did he say anything? He is. He said to remind you that takoyaki stands are the future of cuisine, and that you should go and help him. Yeah, you talk to Haruto, alright. Always the optimist, that guy. I actually have a favour to ask you. Do you still have the book your brother gave you a few months ago? The only thing that guy gives me is headaches. Not sure if I can help you, Ayami. He said he gave it to you when you were in the hospital. Oh, that makes you think I was in the hospital. What makes you think I was in the hospital? I don't even go to the hospital for checkups. Besides, that dog's bringing me stuff all the time, always trying to drag me kicking and screaming over to where the grass is greener. This would have been more recently. After a rough patch. Maybe it was stupid to come and ask. Oh, no, it's fine. That idiot always running his mouth, friggin' trader. Those were just some, hard times. Nothing serious. I just drank too much is all. I'm sorry, Detective, but I don't want to talk about it. Alright, understood. I'm not going to dig up bad memories, Daiso. Thanks. You said you were looking for a book, right? Truth is, I don't remember a book. I do remember Haruto giving me an old magazine, though, back in the hospital. It was one of the ones I used to read when I was younger. When things weren't quite so complicated. Wait there a second, I may have it in the storeroom still. Dang it, sorry Ayami, hold on a sec. Amazing how much junk someone accumulates over the years. Maybe I should throw some of this old stuff out, huh? Here it is! It's yours, Detective. Oh. Damn. Huh? Hey, no wonder I recognise that photo you brought by. It's the same girl. An idol named Ruby. Raina. No, Ruby, see, it says so right there on the corner, on the cover. Pretty crazy that it's still in my shop, guess that means you're still looking for her. I wonder why we keep running into each other. Weird luck, I guess. I don't buy it. You're a hell of a detective. You must have a pretty sharp nose. If you say so, Daiso. Do you mind if I take this? Like I said, it's yours. About time I started getting rid of some of my old junk. Thank you. See you around, Ayami. Take care, Daiso. So we've got a magazine with Raina on the front, who is also seems to be known as Ruby. Alright, back to Asakusa. There we go. Asakusa. Home. Oh. I meant to travel there, not get info. Here we go. Oh. Enter the tea shop. Ah, welcome back, Detective. Is that my book I see in your hands? Guess I'm a little surprised. Are you trying to tell me Raina is the mask bearer you talked about? That's hard to believe. Does it surprise you? After all, it is she who you see in the dark, is it not? The dark? That's what the collector called it too. How'd Raina get tied up in all this? I only know that somehow the girl's path and the masks collided as if by chance. The circumstances led to this intersection are a mystery, I'm afraid. I only know that somehow the girl's path and the masks collided as if by chance. What circumstances led to this intersection are a mystery, I'm afraid. People always see history as something in the distant past, involving old men and black and white pictures. But that book and the girl are as much a part of history as the rest. The threads that connect the past to the present and people to each other are not always apparent, but peel back the layers of connection and the randomness of our universe neatly orders itself. A teen idol, an ancient order, the tool they created, and the detective who holds it now, all forming a neat and tidy line. Raina was some sort of idol living in Tokyo, not part of a sleeper cell or some cult. It doesn't add up. On that, Detective, we can agree. So, why don't we start at the beginning? To how the mask ceased to be a mere object, the story starts in ancient times in the year 1333. At the time, Kamakura was the capital of Japan. Led by the Hojo clan, it was a time of peace, prosperity, and enlightenment. Peace among men is cynical, and like so many before them and so many after, their time of peace came to an end. The Nitta clan, loyal to Emperor Go-Daigo, led a siege against the Hojo-controlled Kamakura, taking the city as the tide receded, leaving a key passage open to the invaders. The Hojo clan fled to the caves of their family temple. For them, there was no hope of victory or escape. They chose to retain their honor. Instead of surrendering, the 870 Hojo samurai, included the last 3 regents, committed mass suicide. However, the Hojo and Nitta clans, embroiled in their quest for the empire, could not see the role they played in the plans of another group, the religious sect known as the Kamenkai. It is said that the flames of Kamakura, a girl, was seen wandering. It is said in the flames of Kamakura, a girl was seen wandering the streets, observing the carnage of the burning city. A girl lost to the histories by the name of Shikako Shinchiko. Wait a minute. A girl lost to the histories by the name of Shikako Shinchijo, the last survivor of the Kamenkai. Okay, so whatever the Kamenkai were trying to do, they failed. I mean, they all died, right? No, they did not fail. Everything went exactly as planned. Chikako Shinchijo did not survive by chance. She was chosen. Chosen for what? To receive the blessing of the... I cannot read! To receive the blessing of all the spiritual energy that so much death afforded. To become the first mask bearer. Mask bearer? The Kamenkai used the deaths of all those people to create this? Why? Legend has it the Kamenkai sought to contain the door, a rift leading to the spiritual realm, where our consciousness ceases to be and time holds no meaning, a place where cause and effect could be changed. Why? Why spend so much human life and give up so much to do that? To stop it from being abused. Imagine being able to see the world as a god, so that the flow of time and the rules which govern our world are of no consequence. This is the power of the door. To a mortal mind, obsessed with the finality of death and meaningless accomplishment, such power would corrupt absolutely, a power over death. So a dark place was created to obscure the door and hide it from mortal eyes, along with a tool to control and see within the darkness. It's true, all of it. It sounds like a fairy tale, but it's true. Finding the door could be the key to bringing Tanaka back. Some doors, no matter how strong they call to us, are not meant to be opened, and the Kamenkai willingly gave their lives to keep it that way. The mask opens the mind to all who come in contact with it, but it is intended for its bearer. Using it to find the door may destroy you. Maybe you're right, but I could at least use it to find my way in the dark. Just like the collector said, the only thing I don't get is how Rainer is connected to it. That is a mystery, as Mr. Kawana told you. The last known location of the mask was the Kamenkai cult only a few decades ago. Much was suppressed, but the Kamenkai under Tokimasa, they existed, and then on March 4th, 1996, they met their end. Oh wait. Much was suppressed about the Kamenkai under Tokimasa. They existed, and then on March 4th, 1996, they met their end. There were many theories. That the police killed them during their raid of the compound, or that someone within the cult had snapped and murdered the others. Nothing but conjecture, I'm afraid. The real answer lies somewhere deep within police records, and though I remain curious, it is not something I have access to. Perhaps the best place to start is there. Finding out about the last days of the Kamen-kai may help light your path to the truth, though I wonder if such an object bred from suffering can truly put an end to it. Is it you who can finally break this terrible cycle? I've spent a long time here, I'm tired. So tired. Farewell, detective. +5 investigation. I had no hesitation that I would get some info. Sitting there comfortably, the historian Yasushia casually laid out everything that I've experienced, like he was reading it out of a book. A mass suicide, ancient groups, and a door to the spiritual realm. It sounds like a myth, an interesting story told to travellers in a bygone era. It's hard to believe it relates to Kazuki and Reina. I can't see it. The bridge between the Kamakura samurai and a young girl. He said Reina fit into the story. She's a mask bearer. But how? Yes, Yasuhisa, the collector. I thought when I'd met them, I'd entered their world and could start to understand, however faintly. But my intuition as a detective tells me they're hiding something from me still. Maybe I'm overthinking it. I need to keep going. What day is it anyway? How long have I been chasing these leads? Day turns to night, the hours bleed into each other. Even the seasons don't seem to follow the natural order anymore. Everything's blurring together. My head. Maybe I should take my medication. Impossible as it seems, following the old man's hunch is my best bet to finally understand the mask. Even Takashi didn't know what happened to the Kamen-kai. Finding the police report is the way forward. A few weeks ago, it would have been easy for me to ask around and pull a file. It'll be more difficult now, I imagine. What's the worst that could happen? I should head to the police HQ and see what I can find. And that, folks, is where we're going to leave it for now. We are on the trail. We have to head to the police station to pick up a file, or perhaps go back to the apartment and get some more medication, talk to the cat, reduce some of that neuroses I'm sure we're suffering. Indeed, indeed. Sanity is currently stable. We're in a professional position. We're very we are meticulous with our investigation, and we're relaxed. Yeah, so for now, I'd like to say thank you very much for watching. Please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the bell for the notifications, and I hope to see you all again in the next installment of Tokyo Dark, where we have to go back to the police station and probably get in a lot of trouble. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.